Hey everybody, Rob Jan Webb here, and what I'm going to talk about today is creative slumps in music production. Now, everybody goes through creative slumps at some point in their musical production career, whether you're an established rock star, a classical pianist, a rapper, a producer, no matter if you're Dr. Dre, whoever it is, everyone goes through a period where they just cannot hit the beat. So, I've been through many myself, and it's quite normal and it's quite a very common thing amongst producers. So I'm going to give you a few tips today on just how I get over those things sometimes, things that I do to help me get over a writer's block for musicians, so to speak. And the first one is don't be a sheep, okay? And by that what I mean is don't go and listen to the latest top 10 in Beatport or Tracksource or iTunes or whatever, or even the national pop charts. Don't go listen to them and go, right, I need to make a track like that. I need to make something popular. I need to get out of this slump and I need to be, doing whatever. And even if you make underground music, you still don't go and copy the latest cool tune, so to speak, because those records were made months and months ago. And by the time you've made your track like that and you've put it out, you're just going to sound the same as everybody else, and that sound's going to become cliched. So, and the producers that you've copied have moved on already. So what you want to do is just stick to your guns, stick to your thing, and just keep ploughing through. Don't go copying the latest fad, because it just doesn't, it just doesn't work. And those records were made months ago anyway, so they're already passé, so don't do that. Number 2 is listen to your first love. By that what I mean is go and listen to the records that got you into this game in the first place. Those records that inspired you and that really brought out that I want to do that thing. I've talked about this before, and basically for me it's the early 90s progressive house and a lot of hip-hop from the 80s. Those records for me were the ones that excited me. Hip hop was what got me into DJing in the first place. And for me, and for the house the house side of things, those early prog house records like Guerrilla Records, Last Rhythm, Gat the Core, all that sort of stuff. That was what really, ignited my flame, so to speak. So go and listen to those records that got you into it in the first place. And even if you don't produce that kind of music, if for example you first got into production and listening to drum and bass, but now you produce house, still go and listen to those records, because they will give you that excitement again and that feeling of, newness, so to speak. So go and check out the old records that you love, and they will give you some, fresh inspiration. Number 3, groundhog synths. If you're using the same synths over and over again and the same bass sound over and over again, it's going to get boring, it's going to get tiring. Unless you've got a winning formula, then explore new things. For example, don't even go and buy a new synth. Check out all of the ones that are built into your DAW. Look at all the things that are already at your disposal. Ableton has countless stock plugins going on there for free. Go and experiment with some of those. And the same for Logic and Cakewalk. They all got built-in synths. So, don't go and buy a new plugin thinking I need to spend 100 quid on this. You don't. Also, check out the Waxadisc blog at waxadisc.com, and in there I have got a massive list of direct links for all the free VSTs that are worth getting. So go and explore something new. Go and find a new synth and explore that and try something different, rather than repeating the same thing over and over again with the same sound. Number 4, treat your ears. Now what I mean by that is if you're producing, say, deep house, okay, and you're constantly producing it and then you hit a brick wall and something just doesn't quite stop gelling, go away, listen to a rock album, go and listen to some acoustic folk or some ambient or hip hop or anything that isn't related to what you're listening to. Give your ears a break. Treat them with something different. Go and listen to a completely opposite type of music for a while, in the car, on your AirPods, whatever. Just listen to something different, and then come back to it a day or two later, and you'll find that you've kind of regenerated yourself in a way. That's what I often do. If I'm listening to disco house all week and I'm producing it, I get tired of it, I'll put some ambient on. I'll just stick a record on and put an ambient album on, and it always helps. And I'll do some blogging or whatever, and it always helps me, clear my mind and start again. So yeah, treat your ears. Number 5 is develop your hidden talent. Now, we all produce records in a certain way, and I have a very, very certain way of producing records, and it's completely different to how the next man would do it, and vice versa. Now, sometimes we just have to up our game and put something new onto the table. So if you've been producing disco edits for a while and you're using the same sweeping effects and you're using the same filters Try a different approach this time by getting some fresh sound effects, for example, a whole set of different beats, but also try and learn to play chords around the loop that you've sampled, or play a lead line on top of it, or learn a new technique like sidechaining or whatever you've never explored with. So, you know, take a disco loop, for example, I'm using that as an example, and work out the chords, work out the key, and play a riff on top of it and develop it so that it kind of half becomes your track and the original sample. Don't just stick a sample on again and keep looping and looping. Put something new on it so that you kind of added to the track rather than just copy and pasted a loop and banged it out. You know, try and develop something new. There's countless tutorials online where you can learn any little trick. It'll take you 5 minutes to learn a new trick, whether that's about mixing down or whether that's about EQing and things like that, or whether that's, you know, using some of the plugins that you've got, like your phaser flangers and all that kind of thing, to a new way. You know, then go and do it. You know, just develop yourself. Keep pushing forward. Number 6, walk away quickly. If the track you are doing isn't gelling within 30 minutes, turn it off, stop, go and read a book, go on for a walk, go and eat your dinner. Just do something different. Don't force it. If it doesn't come naturally within half an hour, you're going to end up banging your head against the brick wall and you're just going to be like this. So you need to stop and just go and do something else. Don't force music. You cannot force art. It will just never, ever happen. So walk away when you've had enough after 30 minutes or so. Number 7 is going live. So imagine you've been making these tracks, you've got a whole batch of stuff going on, it's really pretty cool, but all of a sudden you've hit a brick wall. You've had 3 or 4 tracks out, but now nothing. What do? Turn it into a live project. Get it cut up and chopped up on Ableton, you know, get a bit of hardware maybe, or a MIDI controller, you know, a launch pad or something. Turn your tracks that you've already recorded and develop them into live performances. And that way you'll probably find that you're like almost live remixing your own singles, and you are delivering them in a different way as they are on the recorded version that's been released. And then you can kind of come up with new ideas amongst that, which is often the case, which is what I've done before, where I use a bit of hardware and some of the software and the launchpad and the loops and stuff of my recorded track, chopped it up, and you find that you come up with a whole new section for that track, or you'll add different sounds to it to jam along to. So yeah, go live and try and make something new out of what you've already got, and from there new tracks can develop. So that's that one. And the final one is field recording. Now, if you have a mobile phone, which I'm pretty sure everybody does now, or even if you even have a Zoom recorder, then go out into the real world, get out of the studio, or just go around the house, for example, and record as many one-shot sounds as you can. Take things with you like screwdrivers, spanners, little things you can knock things with, like go and tap the radiator, go and tap the wheelie bin lid, go and tap the garage door, go and slam the car door shut, and record all of these little sounds. Put them all back into your system, chop them up, edit them, get them onto one-shots, put them into a drum rack or a sample or whatever, and then add reverb and delay and things like that. And you'll be so surprised at how many cool sounds you can come up with that are unique and original that nobody else will have. I did it a while ago when I was doing a project, an ambient project, and it was one of the best things I ever did. I went out into the street, all around the city, and just recorded little sounds here, there, and everywhere. And some of the stuff I came up with were absolutely brilliant. You could not tell that they were sounds I'd made. They sounded like they'd been processed through loads and loads of synthesizers, and they hadn't. So yeah, get out into the real world and just record loads of sounds. You can do it on your phone now, and you can just get good quality, WAV files recorded through that. So yeah, go and get a load of different sounds from all around your neighborhood, your environment, whatever, and come up with something new that way. So they are basically the tips that I have on offer that get you out of a creative slump and hopefully get you back to winning ways in the studio. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Any questions, any comments, just leave them in the box below. And don't forget that I offer one-to-one mentoring now, so get in touch with me at waxadisc.com. Thank you and goodbye.